Live with the Inner Circle Live Show. And today we got Pops, Dark Scorch, and Mick Perk. And we about to get it cracking right about now.
Oh man, it feels good to be back. Another episode of the Inner Circle podcast once again.
What's going on, y'all? The TiC Live Show is here. Can y'all hear me?
Yo, I hear you.
Man,
what if I just stood still the whole time for the
I mean, I'm using wireless headphones, so I'm not used to this Bluetooth.
Snap.
It was non-latency, so
you
I don't
can do
even know.
that. What's that 80s the snake?
I'm actually using I'm using the Beats to hear you, and then I'm talking through the mic, so pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm not. Last week I was stuck like this to the PC, like, hey, what's going on, guys? Now I got a little bit more moving.
Couldn't
room.
move.
What are you doing?
I couldn't move at all, so now I'm able to move. So, how you doing, Scorch? I haven't talked to you since 2 weeks.
I'm tired.
Scorch is a 20-year-old tired guy.
Yeah.
Why you tired?
I woke up early.
Doing what?
Just waking up early. Because I was doing the cat sitting and I had to wake up early and be there by like 9:30 in the morning. Just haven't gotten out of the waking up early.
You know what you should do? Since you're a game developer, you should create a game called Cat Sitting Simulator. What you think of that?
Dude, that would be a fun game. Because I could do it. Like, I can already see it in my head. It's 8-bit and it plays like a Tamagotchi or whatever. It just runs in the background. I could do it, but I'm no artist.
I mean, what's the comp? Like, what would be the objective of cat sitting in this game? Like, I never cat sit, so
and you just
keep the cats from doing silly stuff. Where they like,
you get a spray bottle, and then if they're like on the couch, you spray them.
Like Duck Hunt, get the spray bottle.
You can upgrade it so it's like a water gun.
Right.
Increase the range.
Hey, that sounds like a crazy game. I think we might be on to something. I was just trolling, but now it sounds like a legitimate game. And I think the internet is controlled by cat lovers. So I think we might create TiC Studio presents the Cat Sitting Simulator, developed by Scorch.
Hey, the cats will get into crazy stuff, and they'll like they could get sick or something like that. You gotta feed them medicine or something.
And then you get the mission where you got to get the kitty litter, like and then the cat just keeps scratching the. Hey, that sounds like a hot game, though.
Hey, you can make more money and upgrade to the automatic kitty litter poop thing that they got.
Oh, yeah, that breaks every once in a while. You gotta pay money to fix it.
Yeah, then you got to get the scratch post. That sounds like a freaking game, bro. Like, it definitely sounds like we can make a quick profit off this one. Hey, I'm gonna have to put this in my notes. Cat Sitting Simulator by Dark Scorch.
I'm pretty sure we can find somebody on one of these,
an artist,
one of those apps that develop it really fast for about $500 for an 8-bit game. Really, seriously,
one of you developers out there, get with Dark Scorch, and y'all develop the Cat Sitting Simulator. That game's gonna be hot. Hey, I didn't expect that warm up to go like that. That was just, like we just went from like to this boom, we live.
Right. Hey, that's how you know we cool. Like it's like we don't even have a subject matter and it just turns into something major. I like that.
Yeah, man. How's it going, Pops? What's new with you?
Man, I think I've been to the movies like 3 times since we me and my wife, we always dating, so I'm always doing something. What else? I feel like a lot of stuff been streaming. Prince Pops Play, that's what they know me for, Prince Pops Play. Scorch actually has been helping us develop our social media, so that's pretty cool. I'm excited about that. I don't know, everyday fun stuff. Got a bunch of stuff coming up. I don't know if I can talk outside of gaming, like movies and books and all that cool stuff happening.
Bro,
currently, this is the Inner Circle live show, so it's a hybrid of gaming. So,
yeah,
as long as it's media driven,
yeah.
Yes, gaming is our core, but we still individuals that got individual things to talk about, like Cat Sitting Simulator.
Like Cat City Simulator. CSS.
Hey, no, you probably develop a prototype within like a month.
Right. Hey, I think it'll be good. As much as people like cats, sorry to go back into that, I think it'll be really, really cool. And you can do those little cat things that you put on one of our videos and be like, meow. Have you seen the new Cat Sitting video? Meow. No, I haven't. Meow. You should get it. Meow.
Oh, man, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy, man. For real, for real.
See, look at that. Instant developers ideas. That's how it goes.
That's how it goes, man.
That's how it goes.
Let me see. Let me log on to the Twitter and make sure everything's logged in. Man, I just right now. I can't stand having all these tabs open. I keep saying it, but I need to get my workflow correct. Yeah. So tell me about you went to McDonald's recently. They had a Just Dance toy up there. We're gonna hop right into that because we're not about to make a whole episode out of this McDonald's situation. I
opened it up. I guess I didn't download the app. I think you could do some stuff on the app. I'm not sure. I don't know if we could pull up anything. Does McDonald's have some sort of commercial about it? I just got the little toy, and they got like 6 different toys you can collect.
Let's see.
I don't know.
Let's read about this Just Dance McDonald's campaign. So there's actually 12 toys.
12? Oh, nice.
Yeah. So McDonald's Just Dance Happy Meal, complete 12 stores. No, that's the Hong Kong edition. So that means they didn't had a release. What are these? So they look like Pokemon cards and pop-up figures.
Let me grab it. Hold. Give me 1 second.
I mean,
Pop is gone staticky.
Yeah, McDonald's always got some kind of gaming gimmick going on, like
Monopoly.
They always like the Monopoly, but they also do like gaming as a whole. Like they had a McDonald's Genesis game, like the McDonald's video game.
Oh yeah.
So it comes in a little box like this. Oh, I'm looking at
show the camera. Oh, okay.
And
so it's like, it looks like the Pokemon card pack.
So it comes with some cards, but it comes with this one playable character. You put on this little spin thing, and you spin around, and then I don't know, like
that's what they put in a Happy Meals nowadays.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of like little stuff to it too. I didn't buy the Happy Meal, but I don't know. It has to do something with dance. Like I think what it is. I think you can download an app, and then like you can probably play online. I'm not sure. I mean. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of love. So you get a little spinny toy. You get this like freaking like collectible cards or something like that.
How many cards is in there?
I got 6. And I think it's all the different ones in America. And then on the back, they like front end on the back.
That's Pikachu.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot. Because it's the same price as the regular toy, so I got this dude. His name Ron.
I mean, if I was a kid getting a Happy Meal in 2024, that sounds like disappointment to me.
No,
dude, I remember getting the Happy Meal.
You really don't get a lot of
Star Wars characters.
No, you don't get a lot of stuff.
That was fine.
Like, I mean, you get different things. Like I think it's an app. So you get some cards, you get some spinny thing. I think it's a cool.
Is it DLC though? Let's see.
I'm not sure. You got to look it up. Like I haven't gotten deep into it.
I do see the YouTube page, and it does look like it's some software combined with it.
They had a QR code to tell your parents, kids, to go download the app or whatever it is.
I would prefer to have a toy. Pops your static going off on your headset. Yeah, it's weird. I would prefer to have like some DLC for my console version of the game, or at least something on a PlayStation, Xbox, or Steam store. Like, I don't want to download the app on my phone or my iPad. Like, Ubisoft could have done better with that.
I guess. I mean, Ubisoft. and McDonald's, collaborating on something like this, McDonald's are gonna pay a lot of money. Ubisoft gonna get some money for their next game.
That's true.
Let's see if
I mean, Just Dance definitely has a kid-like following. So I mean, it's definitely the kids that play Just Dance. I mean, Just Dance. I think that game goes back to the Wii era. So I mean, definitely a popular game among the youth.
But it seems like a little card game. You
did a collaboration with McDonald's for the Rabbids.
So Ubisoft and McDonald's have a history.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the photo. I'll send it to you real quick. I actually remember collecting these. I have the Ninja Rabbit.
Okay, so let me take a look at this. Okay, so McDonald's and Ubisoft. Oh, the rabbits have always been weird to me.
They're fucking hilarious.
Kirk had bad dreams about the rabbits.
No, I mean from a Ubisoft brand standpoint, like from a company. As for my age, only game that's relevant to me is from my childhood of Ubisoft's IPs is Rayman. I mean, for the childhood, and we haven't really seen Rayman like that in decades. I mean, you see him appear in random games, but a full-fledged Rayman game ain't been out in quite some time. And I know Ubisoft bought Brawlhalla, which I play Brawlhalla. I play a lot of Brawlhalla. So, I mean, Ubisoft, it's good to see them able to make money and license their IPs to McDonald's. I mean, I think the Just Dance things are corny, but it's not for me. I'm not buying Happy Meals, nor I'm not buying Just Dance either. So, but it's good to see that they're able to reach out to the burger boy, be like, yo, we got this plan, McDonald's Corporation.
We have money.
We have money, right. And we want your money. Let's collaborate. So definitely seeing you. Shout out to Ubisoft for taking care of business and making things happen. I mean, Ubisoft from their core brands, I mean, The Division. I like The Division. The game needs to be merged. That game needs to be merged on crossplay. I don't understand Ubisoft. Rainbow Six definitely has its following, and then
X Defiant, the new one that's coming out, that's like getting pushed back and back and back.
I did play X Defiant the beta, so it was pretty decent.
It felt like another Call of Duty / Overwatch hybrid.
Yeah, it definitely didn't feel unique. That was the thing with that game, but it was. I had more control. It had that Ubisoft. I call it the Ubisoft stiffness because Ubisoft games don't feel as fluid as Activision titles, but it was still good.
I feel like I played something Ubisoft. Let me look. I got to see what it is. Like, y'all be knowing stuff straight off y'all head. What do you say, Scorch?
All you play is Halo. What do you mean?
I only play Halo now. I play other stuff like they got. I got Prince of Persia. Actually, is that the one that's out now?
That is a Ubisoft IP.
Yeah.
I got that. I should play that, Scorch.
Prince of Persia on stream?
Yeah, well, I got it.
I mean, that should be Pops. That should be called Pops Play Alone Play. Pops Play Alone Play.
I'm trying to get him to play the Halo campaigns, man, but he won't.
Did they
get him to play what?
The Halo campaigns. Bro. Like Halo 1.
You always bother me about that.
I mean, isn't the Halo Infinite campaign co-op?
Yeah, it's co-op. But like, I want Pops to start from Halo Reach.
Listen how this is. I want Pops to play the other game.
But you didn't play the Halo campaign? When the last time you played a Halo campaign?
Halo 3. Leave me alone.
Hey, yo. This dude,
you gonna make me lose followers and stuff like that.
And 343, this man has not played your campaign since Halo 3. Y'all hear that? Pops don't play y'all campaigns. He don't even know what's going on with Master Chief's armor.
That's why I'm trying to get him to play them.
I give more time to the game than people that just play the campaign. How about that? I got more hours logged playing Halo Infinite that people play the campaign. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I mean, the campaigns. I mean, granted. I mean, I ain't never played a Call of Duty campaign since Call of Duty 2, so I don't even know what a Call of Duty campaign entails.
Well, the past two have been meh, from what I've heard, especially MW3. But like all the ones I remember playing were like they were good. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not a. If I'm playing a campaign type of game, it's going to be a single player game from start to finish. It don't even have multiplayer associated with it. So
Like
if the game,
Tsushima,
what is it?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, like games like that, Ghost of Tsushima, like those games. I mean, that game definitely it has a multiplayer component, but I ain't never played it. I never played Ghost of Tsushima either, though. I got it downstairs, but I just haven't played it. I just haven't had the time. My backlog is like super ignorant. Like it's to a point where I shouldn't even buy. What'd you say?
I'll play them for you.
I mean, shoot, like I'm still trying to finish Yakuza 5.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm so behind. They got Yakuza 6, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and then the Ichi one, and then they got this Infinity Wealth. Like I'm so behind on the series. Like, but I eventually get to them, but it ain't no rush. And then they keep giving you these free games every month. I'll be like, bruh, stop it. Like, I mean, it's cool just to be able to have options. Like, I ain't got to go out and buy every game that exists on a marketplace just to have content to play. Right. But my backlog is ignorant. I mean, I still ain't finished Mario Wonder or Zelda on my Switch. So I definitely got some serious gaming to catch up on.
Me too. I do too.
So in your backlog, what you want to play, Pops, in your backlog?
The main thing I want to play, I think about playing is Prince of Persia, but I mean, I got a few other games I haven't started yet. So
you play Kingdom Hearts 3 yet?
I got a Suicide Squad. No, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3. I really want to play
Suicide Squad was meh.
I mean, like all those, like any game that comes out, like so. That's the weird part about like. Always back in my day, the generations thing, like you didn't get to hear what was crap before you played it. Like, I mean, you had a little bit, you had like the gamer magazines, probably in McPerk's era, but like
Game Informer, Game Pro,
in the beginning, like of gaming, it wasn't like that. It wasn't as many games, so it's kind of weird. But we like you have friends like. So I was in like the sports crowd, and I played football and stuff like that. I was smart, whatever. So I played the the classes and stuff like the smart classes and the cool, hung around the cool people, all that cool stuff. So I would hear all different levels of gaming based on like the person that played. Let me see, Tecmo Bowl didn't play.
Tecmo Bowl was dope.
Play like, Goonies or something like that. And the Goonies person didn't play Gauntlet, like even though the Gauntlet person didn't play Mario. Like it was like so like, but if you have a lot of friends out there, you would get a lot of different ideas, a lot of different like. So I played a fair share of games. I knew a lot about a lot of them, but I didn't, because I didn't have a whole lot of money, so I was always at a different friends' house and play whatever. But yeah, like now, like people will say things are bad, and it's like based on how you hear it, it's like what is bad about that? Like what do you hear about Suicide Squad, Scorch, that was bad?
I mean, it feels lackluster, is what everyone is saying. It feels like the story is meh, and the gameplay is repetitive, like very repetitive.
I mean, it's probably based on because of the way the movies are, and I can understand like just you saying those two things. Like, what are they gonna make with that? Like, when I heard there was a game, I was like, okay. So when you base these games off of movies and stuff like that, and it's like, or based on characters off movies, unless you're like Batman, kind of did it real. I like watching. I never played Arkham Asylum, but I like watching it. And things that they did with Batman and stuff like that, they couldn't do the same things with Superman. Like they say, there hasn't really been a really great Superman game.
Ain't been no Superman games since Superman 64.
I mean, like because they can't figure out how to what to do with that. Like, because it's weird. Like Spider-Man, like was cool. I remember when it wasn't at the time. I don't know if it happened before or after when he didn't like. like he didn't need the buildings to swing or whatever. He could just
you talking about Spider-Man?
So that was in the beginning.
The thing. Let's stay on that subject of lackluster. One thing about gaming critics, I don't really agree with gaming critics. So we had a friend. His name was Free. He was like the dude that brought IGN into the circle. Like he wouldn't buy a game because IGN said. Like he was that guy. But I don't allow gaming critics to persuade me for trying a game. Mainly because when you play Super Nintendo games or NES games or even some of the PS1 games, most of the games were repetitive. Like there wasn't much options to do. So when it comes to having, the truth of the matter is when they say something's repetitive, you play Fortnite for 500 hours. That's a repetitive game. Fortnite is so repetitive where it's actually not. Like, I don't understand the complaints that gaming critics have about gaming. Like, oh, the game is not lackluster, the repetitive gameplay. What you're supposed to do, your goal is to get to the end of the game. That's it. Like, if the gameplay is repetitive, but you die on it, is it truly that repetitive? If you make it to the end of the game without dying, I can see your point. But if you die a couple times trying to beat this game, gameplay is repetitive to the point where you can't read the enemies. I have a very clean, like those game reviewers get paid to say stuff like that or to find things on it. Not, granted, some of these games are not that great, but sometimes the games that are not that great are some of my favorite games. Like, you know how many times IGN has said this game is trash that I enjoyed as a gamer? Like, I don't like I hate the whole critic review thing. Like, I think people review just to get clickbait and attention, and then they join on the bandwagon and not give the product a chance. Like, just imagine, okay, Scorch, you drop a game, like your first game might have a fun factor.
Cat Simulator.
Yeah, Cat Simulator. Let's talk about Cat Simulator. Cat Simulator got a whole bunch of people that like the game. You did it in testing. And then IGN get a hand up and be like, Cat Simulator is the worst game of all time. Now you get a bunch of plaid publicity because IGN said. And then all of a sudden, 20,000 different outlets pick up the story. But you have a fun factor test internally. You know that this game is hot. But IGN just killed the whole thing. Like, gaming critics are sort of like, it's
those guys are just dumb.
I mean, it's sort of like the Yelp people, like people who I respect people who Yelp on all day, every day, positive and negative. But then you get people on Yelp that only report bad experiences. Like, that's how I feel about video game critics.
And that's thing
why I just go to Twitter and look at everyone's response. Like, I don't care about the people that do the.
It's really the same thing. You have the critics and the people, and they're lining it up based on just whatever they feel. And as you learn how to read those critics, then you can find out, what you like about certain games. I give you, for instance, I travel a lot, and when I go out, I'm looking at a review of a hotel or going somewhere. It's like, oh, when we dropped down in Mexico, all the people were, all in your face, and they give the hotel that they're going to a bad review, and that was just at the airport. It has nothing to do with that. Like, people have this idea of like, I don't know how to give facts to support my feelings. Right. And that's kind of weird about the whole thing in the world, period. Don't get me started about that. But going back to games, like, oh, I heard that the trash is the big word. Oh, that was trash. Why? They can't even.
And a lot of people can't explain they trash. Yeah. Like, you say something's trash, but then that's another thing about reviewers. A lot of these reviewers don't even complete the game. Like, I would love to see a reviewer's
like that guy account. Sorry to cut you off, but the guy who was stuck for like 2 hours doing the tutorial of Cupheads, and he had an early copy. He couldn't like double jump and dash over, and he was stuck there for like a good amount of time.
I mean, granted, too, these companies give review copies to people that are in the media, like Associated Press. This dude don't even play video games, right? But they gave the review copy to. So, for instance, here's a funny story. This is a throwback for real. Pops gave me a review copy of EverQuest 2 from his wife that worked where she worked at the time.
In the media.
She worked in the
media.
Yeah, she worked in the media. So she got a review copy of EverQuest 2. Like literally the whole PC copy. I played it. Like they gave the review.
You wrote the article.
Well, I didn't write the article, but it's the principle. I got a review copy from that man's wife. Right. It's hilarious when you think about it. Whatever. It's just one of those things. Like I enjoyed EverQuest 2. Like first off, I played EverQuest, but he gave me a review. His wife gave him the copy, and then he gave, hey, I ain't got a PC power enough to play EverQuest 2 because that game. But I put it in. I was like, oh, every NPC talk. Okay, I respect what they tried to do with EverQuest 2, and I told him about it. I was like, yeah, but it's not EverQuest. So EverQuest 2 got terrible reviews, but I played EverQuest and EverQuest Online Adventures on PS2. So for me, I was okay with EverQuest number 2, but. The point of the conversation is they give game reviews to people's wives.
Right. People don't play the games, like that's weird, man.
It's funny that you just jarred up something I totally forgot about.
It's such a interest. Like that's that whole thing about it. That's why I think it's a responsibility of the consumer at this point to pay attention to better critics, or pay attention to actual words of game, because like even in sports, when you say they say it, the game is repetitive. Like and McKirk says, what does that mean? And no matter what that means, I'm not trying to say like it could mean like you could have the answer, but whatever that means is kind of like that's that person's opinion. Like I understand like finding somebody who you agree with and you play the games but like I mean I guess that's why like they put certain people is like, what's your favorite game? And then it's my favorite game is Ocarina of Time. Oh, I relate to that person. He must have good thoughts about the games. So like and it's like it's weird because like most people, it's like clickbait, when people see something and think that is true just based on a title, then they'll share it without even reading it. And it's like, oh, you haven't even, I heard that movie was trash. Like, what was trash about it? They said that the lens flare was too much. What? Or they said that the cinematography was this. What? Like nobody even knows. Like I'm a big movie person, so I could talk about movies all day. But like you hear people talking about it's trash. It was long. Really?
How is it trash because it's long? Because again, you want the movie to be shorter, but you go to a movie, it tells you the runtime before you watch the damn movie.
Right.
We can say damn on the show, by the way. So, but that's crazy. It's crazy. But that's the other thing too, is like, do public perception influence these reviewers' game as well? Like, does the public perception persuade game reviewers review? Like, I wonder if that's a fact.
It has to be, man. Like, I mean, you look at these people who get TikTok famous or whatever, their content is that beyond. Like, it's let's try to recreate that so we can capture that instead of everybody. The good people that are like the big people, they have a wide range of doing different things and talking about different things because they capture different audiences. Like that person who doesn't want to watch that video about the aliens, then they want to watch the video about the whatever, the government, or if they want to watch conspiracy. Like I like people who are well-rounded and diverse, because it's like, I mean, it's cool to find some people who like this and that, and it's like that gets old pretty fast to me personally, and it's weird because like my generation is more of like that focus or learning like that, but it's like I like multiple ideas about how people are, like, and what their content is. So if somebody thinking like, you start watching it too, like a lot of these people who are doing videos, like I saw, let me tell you why this movie that everybody else think is trash is a good movie.
Oh yeah, I see those people that review those, or they do the opposite.
Like it's cool. Like I get and that's cool. Like I totally like. I try not to think of names and say names, but like
Sam.
nah, like they cool. Like it's a lot of cool things. Like I like what I like about whatever I like about it, and that's it.
Yeah.
And people can't like. It's almost like, and we've always been like want to be in cliques. So I say cliquish
or fanboy.
Yeah. So let me like this
play a role in that game sucks mentality.
Right. I used to say this thing, I write about habits. Like, just because you love what somebody else loves, don't mean you have to hate what they hate. Like if you don't like something like that, people jump on board because of what they hate versus what they love.
I got a question.
This conversation reminds me of this. I'm gonna see if I can share it with you guys.
So with like Star Trek and Star Wars fans, why they never clashed?
They did.
Or did they?
I mean, they
but there wasn't do in terms of like which one's better. But it's
but it's not
like but they don't go as hard at each other like the video game industry.
Or Marvel versus DC fans.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and a lot of stuff like you would see more if that was a thing. Like they have a base, like if you notice how stuff is based in history and been over time, they did things a little like better, and then each generation goes. So, they try to push it a little harder.
So do you think this is just me talking out loud? Like, do you think this kind of fanboy and this gaming culture comes from Sega versus Nintendo? Because they're the ones that market this mentality. Sega particularly was the one that created the violent mentality and the fanboyism of gaming marketing, is what we should say. Like, they marketing was Sega's better. This is what grown men play. This is the realest. Like they marketing campaigns was to make Nintendo seem small and not hardcore. I mean, they put Ice Cube in the Sega Saturn ads and stuff like that.
I remember when Mortal Kombat came to the consoles, and Super Nintendo had the fatalities weren't as bloody, or you could turn them off, or you couldn't turn them on. I think you could turn off. I can't remember how it was, but Sega's was like the bloody one and stuff like that. And people still bought the Nintendo. I don't know which one sold the most.
I mean, the Genesis version definitely sold more because of the blood.
And that was the thing.
But that was a decision based on the company, because Nintendo told Midway, hey, you could put Mortal Kombat on our system. Just keep the blood. I'll turn the blood off. And Sega said, hey, give us the blood. Of course, Sega did use that for marketing for Genesis. Just let's be clear. They was not playing with it. But I think, like, we come from the culture of, like, I'm not too, because my memory is not that, it doesn't go that far back, right? But the fanboy wars for me started with Sonic versus Mario. And then, the Game Pro era. The Game Pro era, they used to have art. I drew a photo of like Sonic and Mario fighting. I wish I could find this copy of Game Pro, because I got displayed in a copy of Game Pro when I was younger. It was just Sonic versus Mario before Super Smash Brothers. But there was always this fantasy of Mario fighting Sonic and Sonic fighting Mario. Like that art piece was displayed in video game culture. And like, I don't know if, I think it comes with the territory, because like with Sony arriving, Sony came on the market with just pure hate for Nintendo because they shaft them on a deal.
Oh wow!
Like, Sony was like, yo, Nintendo just played us at a conference. We just announced this new Nintendo joint, and they just pulled out and said Philips is better. Like, that was just pure anger. So Sony was like, you know what? We going back to the boardroom. What we doing? And the CEO of Sony at the time said, we ain't leaving this market. And that's the invention of the PlayStation, because Nintendo at the time, seeing that the PlayStation, the Nintendo CDs were more in favor of Sony, so they pulled out of the deal at a trade show, and Sony had no idea that was happening. So I think maybe it's just in the gaming culture like that. Like, I don't know. What you think?
I think it's all cultures, man. It's like when the dog Marxist territory or something like that. It's been that way since the beginning of time. I mean, you talk about the same as gang wars, and as soon as somebody else
I get it in those industries, but we're talking about in this media space.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what was gonna happen.
But this media space, the energy's different. Like we got Pepsi versus Coke, granted, but they don't really go after each other's necks like this industry. We're talking about the customer base as well as the marketing. Like okay, for instance, I don't really like the name drop, but Greg Miller, right? He was the guy during the PS4 era versus the Xbox era. Greg Miller was the CEO of anti-Xbox, in my opinion. Yeah, I said it. If y'all got problems, tweet it. But hey, he was the guy that when it came to the PS4 marketing wars, Greg Miller was that guy that stirred up the hate for Xbox. Like he was like that guy where he was the god of PlayStation news. Yeah, he was the face of the fanboy wars. And not no hate towards him or anything. That's just it's my opinion. But that's what I observed during the PS4. Like, as well as Sony used that man for a marketing ploy. And then they went on their press conference and said, "Oh, you want to," like they used all that hate. That they used all the hate for Xbox and put it into their marketing campaigns. And then just boom, 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 boom. It was very violent. Like, it was violent. Like, the marketing techniques of fanboyism and the PlayStation culture and the Xbox culture. Like, I think PlayStation fans are more very, very aggressive compared to Xbox fans. Xbox fans are more like, we just here chilling and enjoying our products. We do got our Game Pass. We play our games. But PlayStation people are like, our stuff is better.
I got chewed out in high school for just saying, "Oh, I play on Xbox," and everyone else just played on PlayStation. I was like, "You guys don't have Halo. That's the only like I can play Rainbow Six Siege. I can play those games."
I mean, and particularly like, I don't know if I think companies stir up that hate, man.
I mean, it's marketing.
Companies a little bit, and but it's also like the people in the community. Like,
I mean, like gaming is aggressive. It wasn't always that way. I mean, it kind of was, but it wasn't always. I mean, even you stand around people in the arcades back in the day, and you got one side cheering for one guy, one side cheering for the other guy, and they
but that's competitive. But that's competitiveness for that gaming product, though.
Yeah, but
we're talking about the hate of a culture. Like, it's crazy.
That flows out. Those people are the one people. Those people are the ones that get hired to, doing this stuff. And then it's all about the number. So if they can sell a certain amount based on what they're doing, that's a good idea. Like we forget about that part sometimes.
So let's just marketing has been a subject of our private conversations as well. So it's interesting that the conversation just turned this way. So when it comes to let's just say Burger King versus McDonald's, right? They take jabs at each other occasionally, but they don't jab regularly at our burger. Like, they don't make their marketing campaigns about the hate for the other burger. Like,
because they don't. At this point with social media, you don't have to as much as you did a while ago when there's enough money floating around with the digital currency that they don't have to do that. It's the same in the gaming market. It's just still it's not really a big deal right now with PlayStation versus Xbox, because they're talking about, what we talked about a couple podcasts ago. If people go back and look, we talked about, some games may just be going, all, to both.
I mean, but even when they go to both, that's where so I'm glad you brought that up. So when a game goes to both consoles, let's just talk about, so when Sea of Thieves went to Xbox and Hi-Fi Rush went to Xbox, Xbox people are not happy about that, right? Particularly on the Microsoft side.
I thought it came out originally for the Xbox, like it was an
Xbox. But those two games are currently on the PlayStation Store. Sea of Thieves is $40 on PlayStation, 5.
You're saying when it went there?
Yeah, when it went there, there was an uproar. Like Xbox people was not happy. Like it's so weird. Granted, I seen earlier in the news that Xbox got their development kits for PlayStation 5, which that's telling you the future of the product suite. We know for a fact that Microsoft is the business side, but when it comes to that customer base, right? There's still going to be things about that Xbox controller versus even if every single piece of software came to both systems, guess what they're going to argue about? Our controller's better. Our system looks better. They're going to start arguing about aesthetics, and they're going to start arguing about user interface.
Yep. I mean, but that's
PlayStation sucks. By the way, I'm sorry, it does. It's so convoluted.
It's just the idea of people like, they have to do that. Like it's territorial. Like it's people. They're gonna say mine is the best. It's just it's human nature, for lack of a better word. Human nature. They like, oh, I have, because that's what you want.
But when it came to the handheld market, we wasn't like that. I mean, we had the PSP versus DS war, but that wasn't even a war because most of the people bought both of them. Like when it came to the handheld market, it was like, okay, the DS, they got Mario Kart. PlayStation did come in with that drama, talk about the PSP was better. And like they came out with a little bit, but eventually they was like, you know what? We're two different consoles. So they got away from that aggressive marketing campaign for the PSP. But I just think it's strange, like how just the culture of marketing works when it comes to the gaming market. I mean, how do we got the same exact game? Like, for instance, like Final Fantasy players are very, very, they want to play on a particular platform. And it's just like strange to me. Like they feel like certain Square Enix games don't belong on Xbox, and that's just not right. Like, who are you to feel like that? Like Square Enix, the company, is the one. Like when Kingdom Hearts came, I think which Kingdom Hearts came to Xbox? I think Kingdom Hearts 3 came to Xbox, right?
Yeah, I think it was 3.
I remember when Kingdom Hearts 3 came to Xbox, and that was a thing. Like, let other people enjoy the products. Like, why do you want to bring people down? Like, and you don't hear PC people be like, like the PC people don't even have to worry. Like, they just be like,
they're fighting about the GPUs.
They fighting about GPUs. My GPU's better.
All right.
I mean, they do fight about GPUs, but GPU fighting is all about the sport of benchmarking. So benchmarking is a different sport by itself.
Hey, remember benchmarking Crysis 3 when that game first came out?
Yeah, benchmark is.
I recently played it. It was fun.
Yeah, benchmarking is definitely a competitive thing. I mean, those people they turn that to a whole different sport. But I don't know. Maybe it's just a way for the computer and the IT people just to have that expressiveness. Like a lot of the people in the tech industry, like, they raw about their consoles versus an athlete. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's that. What you think?
Scorch?
Oh, say it again. I'm a little confused. Like,
I like people in the tech industry, like, how sports people argue and bicker about athletes and their sports ability. Do you think that because most gamers, I'm not saying a lot, but so most gamers are like more of like they're dedicated to their hobbies, right? So do you think arguing about gaming gives you that same ability to just argue about something, like how sports people be like when they argue about their tech and they game or their console or their controller? Do you think it's just that part of the industry where it's like, I need something to yell about?
I mean, yeah. It's also like passion. Like you're passionate about this because of what you've experienced and you want to share it. And when somebody challenges you with different ideas, you're like, what? That's not my. You're wrong.
It's funny you say that about passion, because that's looked at as the thing. Like just because you yell and scream, you got more passion, and it's like that's just not a thing, So
or you're writer.
Yeah.
You don't think yelling and screaming is passionate? Like
because It could be faked, you know. So like I'm not saying they don't have passion in what they do, or like but when it's just about yelling and to think that is all it is.
But passion sometimes turn violent, correct?
Yeah, I mean that's that thin line between all that stuff, you know. When I was just saying earlier, as human nature, you know, to be whatever you are going to be about whatever you are. Like, yeah, my GPU, like, you know, anytime somebody's, you know, would camp out to do something, to have that passion to sleep overnight to get a GPU or a game or a pair of Jordans or, you know, whatever it is, you know, that looks like passion as well. But like, is it really like are you just showing out, or you just want to be the first? How is that considered passion? You know, and I'm not saying that like that's a bad thing. Like, I don't care. Like, get the money, get what you want. You know, that's all cool. But like we confuse sometimes all that extra stuff for passion, and it's like it's just people bandwagon jumping sometimes, you know. So
but
you look at some people think about it, like you're saying, like it's in this industry now, but I mean, like that aggressiveness has been around everywhere. But like, is it really? Do you really have to yell to like give you prime example? Like, I was watching, you know, I was at HCS a couple weeks ago in Texas. I talked about that, and like you watch some of the players, and you know, yeah, they'll win and be like, yeah, you know, we got you.
Yes.
And like, you know, and then some of them don't even do that. Then some of them just like, some of the best players just don't do. Like, you got some players that's like, yeah, we get out my face. Like, I've seen, like it was funny. Like they were.
I mean, but at the same time, I had, because you jarred up my memory or just my thoughts. So the definition of passion is a strong and barely controllable emotion.
Well, barely controllable. But barely controllable.
Let me see. When they lose control and go anger, they lost the passion.
Right. Hey, I like that.
I'm just talking just to be talking.
No, that's a good way, by putting that in definition like that and finding it like that. Like, that is cool. That's a cool way of thinking about it, man. Like, when it goes beyond that's not passion no more, man. That's ignorance at some point.
Because
you know?
It says
you get to the point where you
barely controllable.
Barely. Like I like that.
I'm glad you pulled it up. But if you don't got control no more, hold on, where the control? If you ain't got no control and this thing start to crack the screen, that turns into hate.
Right. Rage quit.
Which leads to hate, which leads to darkness.
Exactly. No, suffering. Suffering.
So passion can turn into a gateway of different emotions. If you go beyond control, that's when it becomes something else.
Yeah. So that's good. I like, you know what,
that's a deep. I never read the definition of passion.
That was perfect. That was perfect for this conversation because it fits into everything we're talking about, and that's why I'm glad we got computers right in front of us to look at. That was like perfect to read that definition, even though like we get mixed up with words. That is a good way of putting passion, because like, you know, I'm soft-spoken a lot of times, but I'll get up and like Scorch got a video of me doing like the DX you know, put it up like that looks like passion, but you know, that was just extra fun, you know, like that next level of like, that wasn't passion.
But passion can technically be disrespectful though.
It can, like I mean, think about like anything kind of like public displays of affection. They call them PDAs, like people kissing or what in front of other people or whatever.
Kissing in public.
It offends others, you know, sometimes. And sometimes people are like, oh, they're so in love. Like, what is the range of levels of the thin line that it is? So that's what we get into the, like, you know, people are just people, man. Like, it's all like I like it because we could talk about it all day, but it's all crap, you know. And I don't mean crap like it's like your opinion is mostly just your opinion, unless you can get some other people to like it on Facebook. You know, it is what it is, man. And that's what's the weird part about it. Like, I'm just like, you know, I watch people doing a lot of the same stuff. Each week it changes. They on the bandwagon of one thing or doing something different, or, you know, doing some special filter or whatever. And it's like, I get it, but a lot of it is just people following people, and it's cool. Yeah. I ain't mad at them. I'm just like, is that really passion? Because you trying to do something that somebody else is? Like, I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's what McPerk said. What you said is
barely controllable.
I like that. I really like that. I really like barely controllable, because like it's like so if you can't control it and let it go, like then you literally lost your passion by losing
mind.
by losing control. Like the scores say, fear leads to anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering.
Yeah, I didn't say that. Yoda did. No.
Yeah, Yoda said.
Oh, that's Yoda right there.
Yeah.
Episode 3.
Yeah, man.
Or 2. I don't really know.
I think
that's deep. That's super deep when we think about it like that.
I like that, man. I'm glad you brought that up, man. That should be like like say that one more time, McPerk. Say the definition of passion. I want to
go read it real quick. Let me go read it real quick. I gotta open up.
Passion is like, I'm getting you a lead in again. McPerk the floor to talk about how passion is supposed to be done, like how it's supposed to be like brought inside and built up and all that stuff. Give us that definition again, McPerk, please.
Definition 1 for Oxford Dictionary: strong and barely controllable emotion.
Strong and barely controllable. That means it's being controlled.
Yeah,
being controlled, but barely. Yeah. Like that. If that was you could still be a gentleman out in these streets and be passionate without putting your, losing your passion by letting it be out of control.
So now that we know what that is, do you think gamers are fake passionate gay players then? How many passionate players do we really got in the gaming? Like these people are not passionate gamers. They're game haters.
Hey, I mean, it's one of those things where like that's why I say people are like looking at it and I find myself, and we did it back in the day, so it's this big thing. People can jump online and say, "Oh, look, Halo is broken, or whatever." We, back when we played, I remember playing Halo 2 online, and we like, you'll see glitches, you'll see broken, you'll see missed shots,
and we did not care.
Yeah, but we would say
we enjoyed the game. We definitely complained.
Yeah, we complained. But even I see players play every day, literally every day, and complain their whole Twitch broadcast, and I'm not tripping on them. Like, it is what it is. That's what
and I don't understand people who watch somebody just complain about.
But that's the people that do it, and like it is what it is. Like and it's so easy. Like going back to what Yoda said. Somebody, I don't know who said it, but it's like, is the dark side stronger? No, but it's easier. So it's easy to do that. It's easy to be angry. It's easy to lose your control then you lost your passion. The Jedi, like if you want to really break down the whole, like whatever going into that, like full of passion. They just didn't lose control, but some of them did. And then what led to what? The dark side, suffering. Dark side. Yeah, but that's kind of what it is, though. Like, and ain't no tripping on it. Like, it's human beings, it's people. It's like we get to see all this stuff so we could decide what we want to be. Thank goodness it's that way, because I don't want to have to experience that darkness to know I don't want it.
So gamers indulge into the darkness once they start arguing and getting belligerent and start trolling and getting. That's how you get to these game hackers and stuff. Like, those people then already went overboard with their passion. Like, they was like, yo, I gotta prove that this game's broken and ruin everybody. So it's like Anakin when he was like a young boy, and that boy, what was I don't know the dude name. He was like, Anakin's not the one, man. He's not the light. That dude right there got some kind of side in him. What is it?
Mace Windu?
Talking about Sam Jackson when he said?
Was it Sam? Who was the guy that was telling Anakin was when he was a kid talking about that dude is dark? That dude is not the Force. Dark. Like who predicted Darth Vader's darkness? Oh, that's who it is. I don't know the
him and Yoda. They were both like his feelings are around his mother. Too much darkness in him.
Yeah, it was Yoda and Mace Windu.
Yeah, they're like this guy.
Profitable Prince, thank you for that. He said
real passionate gamers watch the TiC Live Show. Hold on, we gotta repeat that. Real passionate gamers watch the TiC Live Show according to Profitable Prince.
Yeah, tweet that or X that.
X that. How about that? Tell Elon Musk to fix this algorithm so the fans don't have to be verified to say hello. How about that? Man, that's crazy, man. This been an interesting conversation just with gaming passion, man. So, man, that's crazy.
It is, man. Like I seen it my whole time. Like speaking of, I'm Prince Pops play. So Prince played football, and he was one of the most mild-mannered people. And I would see his passion, and he would never like lose control. But if somebody did something weird, it was like he would like be like, "I'll teach you," on the field, and that's how it should be. Like the gamers, like I still like. Here's the thing about the HCS, the Halo convention. I mean, Halo championship series. The tournament. That passion was there, but I see people not losing control. So they talk mess, and you can talk mess like we talk mess to each other. We're friends outside of this. We talk mess on here. We talk mess in person. It's cool, but it should never be. What's the word it said in the definition?
Disrespectful.
No. Out of control. Yeah. It's without losing control. You kind of gotta. The passion, I guess the passion has to stay built up inside, and that's cool because it's like it.
That's crazy.
That don't mean it shouldn't be shown, but it shouldn't be lost control. Lost control is when you get to the point where you want to argue, fuss, and fight about it for real.
That's when you lose control. Being passionate can lead to some people need to learn how to be in control of their passion.
Right.
So listen up, fanboys. You people need to control your passion when you arguing about your game and stay tempered. If you want to argue about Batman and Spider-Man, argue on an equal playground. We on live right now. Right now I'm on TikTok Live, so I'm talking to you, Cam. People on the internet. You feel me? Hey, man, this is interesting.
Whoa! Did he just start a rant? Without letting us know, Scorch. Okay, you scared me for a second.
It's not time for the rant. It's not time for the rant. Yeah,
got 2 more hours of that.
Yeah, we need a little bit more of a higher energy. Like we gonna have. Hold on. We gotta lose passion to get to that point.
The PMS rant. Oh, Scorch is like, I just want my pillow.
I'm fucking
tired.
Tired, man. I just work here.
Hey, this has been one of those days for me to McPerk probably got a nap earlier or something like that, and
I didn't even take a nap today. It's just I grabbed some food earlier, and then I think I had an energy drink earlier, so
it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, so like I like that energy. I like that passion.
Yeah, it wasn't passion fruit though.
Hey, that's funny. That's what I had some passion fruit drink today, like some Tropicana or something. It was good. It was good. Tropicana, not a sponsor.
Oh man.
Stop that, Scorch.
Anybody, are you Scorch? Are you an Xbox insider by any chance, or not even like for your console firmware?
Yeah, but I had to stop doing it because it kept making Halo crash.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dang, that's pretty crazy. Because I just seen in the news Xbox Insider release notes, but I'm not an Xbox insider. Speaking of that, Xbox. I don't know if you heard the rumors recently about these Xbox revisions, but they said that the next Xbox, the digital Series X, is coming, and it's supposedly white. And it's interesting, and it doesn't have a CD-ROM either. So I might get that one, the Series X with no CD-ROM. I mean, I think,
a lot of media is digital, so.
I mean, especially on the Xbox side, like
you going to do that, Mick Perk? After that,
I mean, currently
last week or 2 weeks, 2 shows ago.
Hold on. So, I mean, first off, I have to replace my Xbox because I've been playing on my PC. But this revision is going to have possibly, there's rumors that is going to have different chipsets, Wi-Fi 6 and other things. So, I usually sell my consoles before the next revision anyway, just to be able to get the fullest value of it. So perfect time to get rid of them.
I don't remember that being your argument.
No. I'm telling you now. But as well as I'm talking about the current news, as well as listen. Get your fix your face. fix your face. So there's another rumor going around that this is a rumor. Nothing is official, but there's a rumor that there's an Xbox handheld coming to the market.
That'd be great. That'd be great for me.
I think that would be. But this Xbox handheld, like this is rumor, just in case somebody chop my stuff up. Talk the talk. Oh wow, this guy.
No, I'm trying to ban him.
Talk that talk. So this Xbox handheld, right? This rumored device. I feel like this device has to have Xbox hardware built into it. Like, first off, for me, it has to play games natively. I feel like if they do this handheld with the rumors, we don't know. But if they did do this thing has to take NVMe hard drive space, in my opinion. It has to be able to play Halo Infinite natively on Wi-Fi. Like, literally. It has to do it. Like, I don't want the hardware just to be a cloud-based device like the PlayStation Portal. I think this device. So if you look at the AROG and all these other devices or the Steam Deck can run Halo natively, even though it's
so basically a cheaper Steam Deck that's
not
Xbox affiliated.
It does not necessarily have to be a cheaper Steam Deck, because you got to remember, we're in the era where people are spending we could spend a little bit more money now on our consoles just to have
we
a
spent
native.
$500.
I mean, I will spend $500 on an Xbox handheld because my life currently, I can't sit in front of the TV anymore. And I'm not the guy that wants to sit with a controller in front of an iPad or a phone. I'm just not. I traditionally still want a dedicated gaming device. So
what do you think the Switch is? How do you feel about that?
The Switch? The Switch
yeah,
because
I'm looking at it right
device.
now.
The Switch is a handheld device, but it has options to play. And that's the thing too. If Xbox can make their handheld do both,
like the Switch,
if they able to make the Xbox, if they able to get the Xbox Series S hardware in a handheld, that's all I gotta say.
I mean, they can do
it's
it.
Over.
I mean,
it's over.
Plus, it has Google Play or whatever Xbox or Microsoft uses.
If they can get the Series S slimmed down into hardware, get rid of the memory port and put NVMe in there.
What's NVMe? Like that's the onboard
memory.
That's
the
different type of memory.
The small
hard drive.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So if they can kill that proprietary memory, do not put proprietary memory in that device. Use NVMe 4 and literally shrink the Series S and put it into a box like that.
I mean, they can do it. Like, it's just
they can do it, and I hope they do it. Like I said, these are rumors. Rumor has it, these are currently rumors, but I just hope that it's just not a Steam. I hope it's native hardware, and like I said, if they can figure out how to shrink the Series S into a handheld, we got something go. We got some serious problems, as well as if it's a Series S, a digital Series S that can dock, bruh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's Nintendo's always been the forerunners of all this stuff. That Switch,
yeah, but we're in a different era right now.
Right now, but what I'm saying is that Switch hasn't like shown people any. Like, I believe it's gonna happen. I believe we have no choice but to get to that with the rest of the consoles. You know, and that docking system is just such a smart thing. I don't know if they have a patent. I don't think you could patent that docking system. So
the Switch, the Steam Deck,
the Switch is more of a casual thing. The challenge Microsoft has to do is make games like Halo Infinite play at 120 on a small device like the size of a Nintendo.
I don't think they would have a problem with that. So like,
they don't have to play 120 because if it's a slim down Series S in a handheld box, it's acceptable play quality. Natively, I'm not trying to play on the cloud, but if it could be slimmed down.
But what if you're playing at 30 frames?
It ain't gonna play at 30 frames because
here's the thing: they got monitors small enough at this point. I got an old like 120 portable monitor. I mean, it's about that big, but I mean, like I'm pretty sure they can slim that down. All these tech, like one thing I do know about technology is it can be slimmed down. Like Nintendo, only reason why they didn't put a harder, Nintendo ain't about putting more, faster, the best hardware and their stuff. They're putting the most fun stuff. But that size Switch, what's in the Xbox Series S can go in something that small. And it can be 120. So I'm just saying.
I don't think it'd be 120 because
I think it can. Like 120 is not that hard if you think about it.
It's my issue with 120 on a handheld is going to be expensive because the screen has to be natively 120. And then they got to solder this HDMI component. But if we could get Halo running at 60 frames on a handheld, it's acceptable.
If you put it if it's on a handheld and you put it in a dock, then you can get your 120.
I mean, put it in like the thing is the Steam Deck. You could put a USB-C cable and it runs through a monitor.
You know what? I don't even know what the Steam Deck looks like. Let me look at it.
Steam Deck.
You're not gonna believe it. It looks like a Switch.
That thing is a big Switch.
Dude, it's got its own mouse pad too. I go to these LANs near where I live for Halo. Classic Halo, and some guy had it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just playing a Halo Infinite on it. It
looks like smooth." The Lynx, was it called a Lynx back in the day, McPerk?
You talk about the Engage?
No, Lynx. Was it something called a Lynx?
Linux? Computer operating software?
I mean,
let me see.
the Steam Deck is big, Rocky. I mean,
I see it.
It's
Rocky.
Like those photos don't give the Steam Deck justice.
Hey, pull up the Atari Lynx.
Oh yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Okay, Atari Lynx. Hey, I know what you're talking about.
It just got a better.
Yeah. That's that thing ugly. You see it, Scorts? Atari Lynx.
Yeah, I saw it.
I mean, it got an LCD screen, but that's what it looked like.
Hey, but the Steam Deck is a big device, right? So, but it's a PC. So, if Microsoft can put the Series S in a Steam Deck type environment, make it a little smaller. Like, just make it. Just make it a little smaller. I think we got a hit. I mean,
like that's what I'm saying. It can be done. Like I don't think like that's what it's about.
Let's think about it like this too. Game Pass on Xbox, Game Pass PC, as well as those two services embedded into because if it can play the PC versions of the games as well, play the Game Pass version, natively Xbox version of the games.
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem?
I mean, it should just be a handheld.
I think it should have docking features though, because you might want to play it on a TV at the hotel. Someone like Pop.
I think docking features are the way to go.
What if
with
you
it.
can put it in your like pocket? Like it's small enough. Like
I don't need it to fit in my pocket.
I wouldn't want it. Like, so my thought is like to split a Xbox controller in half. You know, have it a little. So maybe the size smaller than an iPad Mini. Maybe the size LCD should be about. Because I'm thinking about phone size, and I'm just like.
Yeah, it gotta be.
Like
I think I feel. Well, the thing is, let's look at it like this. Microsoft actually makes hardware when it comes. They make Xbox and they make the Surface, right? Mm-hmm. So let's just say, for instance, the Xbox Surface.
Nice.
Xbox Surface. Let's have the Surface division create the Xbox Surface, and then because the Surface, the screens are beautiful on the Surface Pros. As well as the Surface got 20 cores in them. 20
What's a
20
core?
CPU cores. So
how many cores in Xbox S?
I mean, I don't know. It ain't 20
I
cores.
can Google it.
But I think we had a point where we could get
8
cores.
Oh wow!
So we got 20 cores inside of a Surface.
Hey, here's the thing:
and
if you're saying
AMD
that, there's no way they have not thought about that with it. That's why I say what Nintendo did. I bet you in the next 3 years, somebody else, PlayStation and probably
it's rumored that both of them are coming up with handhelds.
I mean, like PlayStation already had one, so why wouldn't you come back if you see this Switch?
The issue with Sony, the issue with the PlayStation Vita had 2 issues. First off, it was expensive and it came with proprietary memory. That's what made the Vita not a pleasing. The Vita actually, it's funny because Vita means life, right? The Vita got more life after it died from the official company. Like the homebrew community made the Vita stay alive this is a great console. Like, but it took the homebrew community to make that console pop off. The Sony themselves, they locked it down with proprietary and they did not integrate it into their product suite. Terrible.
Could you
know what they think? They get weird. And I know what it is. Here's the thing. This is why the Switch, and I don't know what Nintendo did with the Switch, but the Switch became their main, console. Like if they did a handheld, they'll be afraid of losing
the Switch is a handheld.
Right, but that's their main console right now, though.
And
that's all I'm saying. Handheld console. It's like the DS, except you can dock it.
Right,
like that's the selling point. Look,
they don't have so you're saying if somebody comes out with a handheld, then they'll be going against their like a dock.
Yeah, and I'm not nobody worried about Nintendo though. Like
right, no, I'm not. Reason why I'm only saying that using that Nintendo as an example. The fact that maybe that's why they won't come out with one.
No, that's
because they're worried about their mark.
No, everybody knows Nintendo will succeed.
Nobody.
No, this is not about against. No, this is not.
Microsoft ain't worried about Nintendo.
No. I'm talking about Microsoft against Microsoft. If they come out with a dockable handheld, what does that mean for the rest of them? That's what
it's not about it being a dockable handheld. This is the thing. Right now, we got Legion. We got Lenovo in the handheld market. We got Agron in the handheld market. We got PC manufacturers. I wouldn't be surprised if HP got one. I haven't even checked. But we got PC manufacturers making handheld Switch-like consoles already taking advantage of Xbox's infrastructure. A Game Pass. We had Logitech. These guys, they made a cloud gaming console that was a Switch thing, right? So
that's what I'm saying. Like none of these guys, they have like that's what Nintendo didn't come out with another console. They just have that.
Not yet. But
okay, and I don't know what they're doing. I'm saying maybe that's
an upgraded version.
So Nintendo,
but maybe that's what they're afraid of.
No, they ain't afraid. Nintendo's situation is that Nintendo like to do stuff cheap and very, very affordable with high profit margins. So, like for instance, the Switch is using a old Android tablet's CPUs, which is the NVIDIA Tiger processor, right? These processors was in these garbage garbage Android tablets. I had one. It was a Dell. And T-Mobile sold it to me. Shout out to T-Mobile, but no sponsor. But T-Mobile sold me this Android tablet. It was Dell, and it had a Tigra processor. It had the Tigra chip in it. And it was like, yo, this chip is hard. This chip is great. That chip was not great on that particular hardware. That tablet, I love that tablet. It was almost the size of a Switch, by the way. And that tablet was cool, but Dell stopped supporting it within 6 months of that tablet existing, right? So the Tigra processor, so NVIDIA had a bunch of these damn processors. Trey talking about. So they hey, we might get it back with
right, bring back the game.
But they talk about, so Nintendo said they walked up to NVIDIA, was like, yo, give us that stuff. So they got a deal on all that cheap unusable hardware that NVIDIA developed, because nobody was going to think that you could make a console on a Tigra chip. Like Nintendo used a mobile processor because it was cheap and it was throwaway tech, and NVIDIA found a new customer for the Tigra. That's it. So the Switch was like a no-brainer for them because they got throwaway processors, in my opinion. So, but now we're talking about high-end gaming in our hands.
Right.
Because the appetite, the thing about the Steam Deck proved to Sony, it proves to the whole PC community that there is a market that wants that kind of hardware. It just has to be.
Did it sell well?
The Steam Deck is still selling very well. And then, like, I think there's a rumor of a new Steam Deck. Let me be sure about that. I know people actually do OLED mods for the Steam Deck. Steam Deck. Sport said he'd be back. Steam Deck. Let's see if there's any news of Steam Deck 2. I mean, Steam Deck 2 is the fourth thing, so there's already rumors of Steam Deck 2. So Valve did very well creating the Steam Deck, as well as Valve made the Steam Deck. I think they made it repairable, so you're not really stuck with broken hardware if you get a draft stick. I think they made it easy to fix. Versus the PlayStation Vita. PlayStation Vita, first off, it was expensive when it first came out. These dudes had the nerve to drop an OLED screen during the PS3 era. Why did you put an OLED screen on it instead? Granted, Sony always wants to be upscale and sharp, but POLED screen was a bad move. Terrible.
It was on a Vita? Oh, wow.
Yeah, the PlayStation Vita had an OLED screen at launch. Terrible move. Terrible. They should have put PSP screens on it. Granted, I understand why they did it, because Sony is worried about their brand integrity, as well as Sony might have been testing their technology with the Vita. But Sony has this ego when it comes to the putting the Sony logo on certain things. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to consoles, they need to think about acceptable quality. Like the same thing with their current VR headset. The VR headset's expensive. Is very powerful. They didn't have PC support for it. So it's not the fact that the PlayStation VR is not a failure. The PlayStation VR 2 is
not necessary.
It's not necessarily a failure. There's just issues with it, the way it's executed. First off, the PlayStation VR 2 should have freaking PC support, because people who love VR actually work on PC. The Meta Quest 3, you can connect it to PC and develop for. So Sony's, I want to keep everything internal. They shot themselves in the foot, because the third parties don't want to develop for it. They develop for the Meta Quest. There ain't gonna be no Grand Theft Auto for the PSVR 2. It's going straight to Meta Quest because the users are there and it's cheap hardware, right? So same thing with the
Sony should have just sold the headset as a PC compatible VR headset plus PlayStation.
But they want to keep people in their infrastructure. I get it. But if they enter into the handheld market again, this is going to be their last shot. In my opinion, they better do it correctly. If PlayStation think about entering into the handheld market, according to the rumors, they have to do three things. They have to make it compatible with PlayStation Plus. They have to integrate cloud subscription, their cloud services, which ain't that great in my opinion. And they have to make it natively play PS4 games downloadable on the hardware. They have no choice to do that. Let me play my
compatible Vita games, because handheld.
I don't think they're going to go back to the Vita's category. It would be nice if they let PSP, but I think we're going to deal with a licensing issues when we deal with that, because we're dealing with it's just like 360 games. I think they're not going to be able to port Vita games. They could do it, but I think they're not going to do it because relicensing and reissuing Vita games on a new piece of hardware comes with licensing and renegotiation. So I think a lot of those Vita games will have to be remade or ported to the PS4 infrastructure or whatever new infrastructure that they just need to call it the PSP2.
But what if they have the disc compartment? What if they bring that back?
There's no way for them to bring the disc compartment back because, and this is my opinion, I could be wrong, the disc drives don't spin that fast. With the current games that we play, the games that we currently play we can't spin up a God of War or a Halo on disc on a handheld completely. Halo, you got to remember, Halo ran off of the Xbox One, had a hard drive built into it, right? But the Xbox did do things with its hard drive to play Halo on the original Xbox hardware. But PlayStation 2 played games 100% off the disc. So I think playing games off physical disc, unless we figure out how to make a disc spin faster and have faster reads and write speeds off a bigger disk space, I think those days are over because of all the firmware updates and life improvement updates. And with gaming as a service, we're not going to be burning games back to the disk. We're going to write to hard drives, right? So they could go cartridge based, but I don't see them doing that either because the Vita did have cartridge based games. And there's a lot of Vita games that were cartridge based, but once again, the Vita was a weird system because in order to play a cartridge-based games, you had to have the proprietary memory card. For what reason? It needed to do something. It needed to install onto that proprietary memory card. And Sony it still needed a hard drive to an extent. So it was sort of weird to me. I didn't own a Vita, but I know my brother had a Vita, and I just thought it was strange. And the homebrew community created all kinds of mods to bypass that proprietary memory, which Sony just being Sony, the PSP by itself had proprietary memory. It had memory stick duo, DUO. So when we was in the flashcard wars, we were in the format wars with flashcards. We had compact flash, SD cards, which is the cards we use today, which won the war, and then we had memory stick Pro Duo, which was Sony's proprietary memory card. Because Sony, you gotta remember with them, they want to make money off every single accessory and license. So I think Sony just need to kill that proprietary stuff and get with the program and let people make stuff for their stuff. Worry about the software and hardware sales. Make money somewhere else. Don't lock it into proprietary. But Microsoft, them boys, they come out with an Xbox Surface handheld is what I'm going to currently call it. The Xbox Surface. The Xbox Surface X. The Xbox Surface X.
That would be great. I wonder, speaking of cartridges or going back to spinning disc and stuff like that, what about, hard drives? The
hard drives are
no, I don't mean hard drives. I'm talking about the fact, how is it Nintendo do with the games? Can you make bigger versions of the cartridges?
So for Xbox, that doesn't make sense with the current infrastructure that they run. They don't need Xbox is not in the. So I just told you that Xbox is rumored to be making a new Xbox Series X with no disk drive.
With no disk drive.
So Xbox physical media, I believe those days are done when it comes to Xbox physical media because obviously they're getting away from that business. they're getting away from remember, they're a software company. So it's best for X, if that's true. And as well as, isn't there another Series S coming, the black one? The 1 terabyte version of the Series S? I think there's another one of those. There's a 1 terabyte.
1 terabyte Xbox? Yeah.
1 terabyte Series S. 1 terabyte.
X. Or yeah, Series S, and it's black. Yeah.
Yeah, it's black. So they are revisioning hardware without the CD-ROM being a part of their blueprint. So it doesn't make sense for them to put any kind of physical media inside of a Microsoft platform. It's just not. It just don't make no sense.
Right.
So
no, you're right. You're right. I was just thinking, like, if somebody nearly needed to get into that space of having a cartridge or something like that, because you said the disc didn't spin that fast. So I'm laughing at what Prince said. If a disc didn't spin
the only way to run games at the speed that's acceptable is through a cartridge format, which is how Nintendo runs their products, or hard drives. Xbox and Sony have to run their games, in my opinion, on hard drive type technology. They just do. I think the PlayStation had a little bit of when they put the NVMe drive inside the PlayStation 5, I think that was a better move than what Xbox did. Xbox definitely, if they do revision of hardware, I think they if they want to have more people in the infrastructure, I think that's a better move because Xbox memory is expensive. The proprietary memory slot is unnecessary. Granted, I understand that Microsoft wants to make money off the proprietary memory. They want to make that license, but kill that slot, man. Kill it. Just kill it. Because if Sony decided to let third-party manufacturers handle the memory side, but then you let Western Digital put a proprietary hard drive slot in the Xbox, proprietary memory solutions need to stop, because to me it just hurts the market. And it's
proprietary means like it's inside, right? Like it's
proprietary means that the slot itself is proprietary only for that console, right? So for instance, I could take the hard drive out of the PlayStation 5, my NVMe one that I put in, I could put it in my PC and format it. I can't take that hard drive and put it in the Xbox. The Xbox has a special slot for them and only them. Like I can't use the standard. Like they got away from their original way of being, because the original Xbox had a Western Digital drive in it, right? So the Xbox 360 had standard CD-ROM drives. Yes, the hard drive was a little bit proprietary with the clip-in for the design. Okay, granted. But that hard drive was able to be manipulated because it was on SATA. So the hard drive for the 360 clipped in, it was proprietary, but not really, because it used PC components. Same thing with the CD-ROM. The CD-ROM drives were the same damn CD-ROMs that's in the PC. So granted, the 360 had PC hardware with proprietary design. That's how I look at the 360. The Xbox One and the One S, like they allowed third-party USB drives to be plugged into those consoles, right? So why we get to the Series X and S, and then we got this stupid memory card slot? Now we dealing with we have a conversation about memory issues.
You can use those USBs from like the Series X or the One X on the Xbox, right? Or
you can use them,
but they won't run.
They won't run the games. That's the problem. So
they won't run enhanced games.
They won't run. Dude, put Halo on a Series X USB. It ain't gonna run correctly. It's just not, because the games are designed to run Xbox One games through USB. So the NVMe drive definitely should be on the revision hardware. I don't understand why it's not, because if the PCs are running it and if the oppositions are running it as well as Valve is running it, why are you not putting that hard drive inside the revisions of these Xbox? I could be wrong, because we haven't seen any official revisions of these Xbox. But I swear to goodness, if that slot is on any revisions of Xbox, it's like, why? Like, are you worried about people modding it? No, I don't think so. Sony ain't worried about people modding the data. Like, I don't know what it is, because with the homebrew community, they can extract the files off anything and everything because that's what they do. So I don't even think that it's protecting against piracy. I think it's just them being them. Oh man, I'm done with that.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Like that like you keep going into them rants.
hey, you know, this is what these shows about though. Like we gotta make these shows happen.
right. No, it's cool because it's like so much information out there. Like even like this is one of the, you know, we do a freestyle type show with 3 different generations, and I like it, you know, because like we could just pitch a story about anything and like it'll just go out. I like it.
I mean, Game Pass is on sale 20% off at Target. I'm gonna end it with that rant. Go get your Game Pass subscriptions on sale today.
I was just
like,
at Target.
You sound like that's a sponsored thing. You getting some sponsored dollars we don't know about?
I'm not. I mean,
give us your money.
The podcast is not officially sponsored by anybody right now. We're in a business. Hey, if y'all want to support the podcast,
right,
y'all can DM, and we need some. We in the middle of a restructuring right now, so you know we need some coins.
right.
Like we need the Mario coin, ding ding ding.
Right.
No sponsors yet, man. This is raw. Like we say what we want to say. We ain't paid by nobody to say what we're saying. Currently, we ain't got no endorsements, so we free to say things.
Hey, when they do give us endorsements, we still gonna say what we want to say.
I mean, that's what they want, though. They want honest reviews. So
right.
You know, it is what it is.
That's our stipulation, people. You want to endorse us? We're still gonna say what we want to say.
Yeah.
It's in the fine print.
Right, it's in the fine print.
Right. Just make our products look in the great Bell light. Great light. So it's funny thing. Let's talk about. Did you see what you think of the? Did you check the April Fool's jokes trends that went along on April Fool's?
I just saw the one from Razer where they got the chair with the arms coming out of it, but that was it.
Did you see the Virtual Boy, the Virtual Boy Pro that IGN did?
No, I didn't see that.
These dudes at IGN glued a Nintendo Switch to like some headset.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about Virtual Boy Pro. I thought that was funny. I think there was one for Resident Evil 1. I'm not too sure if that one was real or not. Resident Evil 1 remake. Let's see if that's even real, because I think that came out on
kill him. Ooh.
I'm having a hard time sorting through this data. I'm not too sure if the Resident Evil 1 is real or not real. There's still news that nothing official from Capcom came out. So December 1st. No. So there was a April Fool's trailer, or I think a JPEG came out saying Resident Evil 1 remake was coming, but we don't know. Like that one got the internet riled up. So that was an interesting thing. I think April Fool's jokes are in the gaming industry. I think it's fun to let companies explore their products of ideas just to say, hey, that's a fake. But I think Resident Evil 1 remake, like in that new engine, I think that might be a little bit of a real situation.
I mean, they not too long ago remade it, so I don't see why that would be like such a joke.
I mean, they out of all the Resident Evils, we got 2, 3, 4 remake in the current, like the new version. So it makes sense to remake that that version of the game. I mean, what we might even get, like it, even them going and looking at Resident Evil 0 possibly to remake it. Like maybe they are. I mean, Capcom is doing well as a company right now. Like that Dojima 2 is like they definitely have the resources to do it. And Resident Evil fans, there's a lot of Resident Evil games, so I think it's interesting. But I don't think that whoever did that trailer or that Photoshop for Resident Evil 1 did a very good job of teasing. So that's why it's like, oh, it was you. So the April Fool's gags this year was the Sega Dreamcast Mini, which I knew that was fake. Guilty Gear perfume, Power Wash Simulator, new dirt mode, Pokemon Sleep World Championship chips. Dave the Driver Gets a Dating Simulator VR spinoff. 1-2 Switch, Sega lands new Sonic ambassador, and I think there was an April Fool's Nintendo Direct roundup. Like, I don't know.
There was one for Power World where they made a dating simulator and they had a trailer and everything for it. It was pretty funny.
There was I guess there's one. Elon Musk buys Rockstar Games. Take-Two announced it plans to sell Rockstar Games to Elon Musk. Come on, man. It said literally the trailer says "Welcome to X" with the Rockstar logo next to it. That's funny. The Guilty Gear cologne says Guilty Gear Strive, smell of the game perfume.
Smells like BO.
All right. Hey, BO. Now, hold on. No shameless plug. If y'all people that's going to Evo this year, put some smell good on you. Because you know how y'all gamers smell at Evo. Get some Guilty Gear Stride and strive to smell better when y'all go to Evo this summer. Because y'all boys... Not sponsored. But that Tekken, there's going to be a Tekken 8 fight, and I want to make sure my fellow gamers, I'm passionate about y'all hygiene. Smell good this Evo, for real. I need y'all to smell good. All right, that was a little shameless plug, but yeah. But other than that, the gaming news is a little bit like I think we're gonna get more news in like April, May. Because that's when
the Summer Fest hosted by what's his name, Keighley, that does the Game Awards. That comes it's coming up pretty soon.
Jeff Keighley.
Jeff Keighley,
yeah, Jeff Keighley. He definitely does that. I mean, the way that Jeff is running things is looking like he about to take over Evo. I mean, not Evo, E3, because that guy there, yeah, he pretty much did. He has a lot of gaming connections, and like the way that the gaming awards, like he is E3 right now. And it's just weird. Like I just feel like there's not, even though Jeff Keighley's doing a good job, I feel like that particular summer, that era, like that excitement is like gone now. Like when you knew E3, like when you got a magazine or just knowing E3 was around the corner, you just knew that things were happening. So I hope maybe somebody can rebuild that kind of energy, because as of now, like we don't have those gaming conventions where you could go meet gamers and go talk to them face to face and feel the passion of the real gamers. Hey, that's the word of our broadcast today. But like, what is it? Like, have you ever been to Bethesda? The Bethesda Festival, Bethesda Fest. I think it's called Bethesda Fest.
Scorch. That's the gaming thing,
dude. I'm like, the closest thing I've been to gaming is Comic-Con in Halo Land.
Okay. So like the Bethesda Festival, like they set up these like tents and they have the bar and they have like restaurants and food and beer and stuff like that. And you get all the Bethesda fanboys, not disrespecting, but they all go there to talk about Bethesda product. All the Fallout guys that love Bethesda, I think it's cool for the gaming developers to interact with their core customers, especially their passionate customers. But I don't know
like BlizzCon, right?
BlizzCon is huge, but like during E3, they had little pop-up booths around town. Like they had like the gaming companies were able to sit down with the core customer and interact with, like if you wanted to go to, like I think Ubisoft used to do this show. They used to do it in a theater away from E3, but like it's just a way to show appreciation to the customer and the gamer. And it was the fine line between business meetings and customer management. B2B, business to, is it B2B? What is that word?
Business to business.
Is
business
it
to buyer?
Business to business, right? So business to business. So I guess I'm going to say that, even though it's business to business refers to business that is conducting business between companies rather than consumer. So I guess it'd be it's B2C. My bad. That's the real term. Business to consumer. So B2C, these are new terms that it's business, but B2C. Those conventions were very, very good for business to C, B2C interactions. Like people were able to shake the developers' hands, talk about things, as well as the people that were at these conventions weren't like the impulsive. Yeah, there was some people that was obnoxious, but you felt honored to go to one of these B2C events where the developing company was able to talk to the consumer. So like BlizzCon is B2C. When Twitch does their little shows, that's B2C. So business to consumer shows I feel like without E3, we're going to miss those, and it's going to be B2B now. Like there's a lot of B2B going on, but no B2C. And I feel like people flying to LA to experience that B2C is like gone. And I feel like that's sad because it lets you be able to, like I said, mingle with your customers. They got the free Capcom t-shirts and they got exclusive merch. Like they went home with a keychain that you could never get. You could never, ever, ever get that keychain unless you were there at that convention. So I think E3 being gone definitely damaged the B2C, business to customer relationships, because now people like you, Scorch, can't experience the B2C the way it is. Like for instance, I know we talked about Ubisoft earlier, but I met the developer and I believe the owner of Brawlhalla, right? When I was literally walking down the hallway at one of the last E3s, and the developer of Brawlhalla, he walked up on me and said, "Yo, McPerk." He didn't say McPerk. He said, "Hey, I got this game, da 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 da, boop boop de whoop," and he gave me a card to Brawlhalla, and I was like, "Cool." Like, I don't even remember his name, but I remember his face. He gave me the card to Brawlhalla, and I told him I was going to check it out. Unfortunately, I wish I was able to cultivate that relationship because I did beta test the product and I love the product. But if I would have been able to cherish that relationship a little bit, I could have been in probably the Brawlhalla forums and in secret Brawlhalla play alphas and stuff. Like I would have been able to have that relationship with the Brawlhalla developers if I would have seen what I was dealing with and created it. But I am a Brawlhalla beta tester, and my Brawlhalla game was invited by the developer. So the B2C relationship that the Brawlhalla developer did for me, I would have never played Brawlhalla if I didn't meet the developer face to face. I wouldn't even have it installed on my Switch, my PC, or my PlayStation if that guy never walked up onto me and introduced himself. It's important. It's very important. And Brawlhalla is that's my game. And then Brawlhalla is fun. But like I said, if I would have seen Brawlhalla for what it was, even today, I would have never gave that product a chance. But since the B2C, that developer talked to me directly, gave me a card, and said, "Yo, check out my game." And he said this game is going to be big. Is what he told me. He told me in my face.
It was wrong. No, I'm kidding.
But I mean, it's important. But even the B2C, even for independent small developers, going to E3 to hustle your product and hustle your project, it was a very important time, and now that time is gone. I feel like it's a very damper to the gaming industry. So, maybe one day we could create something like E3 or something like lets the BTC and we got PAX East and these other ones, but it's still not letting the smaller people be able to express they products. So
I had an experience like that at Comic-Con. I got to meet some of the people that worked on like that new Transformers game for Hasbro that was coming out, where you play as like Bumblebee.
They're gonna take over. I was sitting there listening to you. I think Comic-Con will take over. They'll be the ones.
I mean, but Comic-Con is for comics.
I know, but I mean,
yeah.
like Sports just said,
I mean, there was video games there, and like there was Diablo,
they won't have no
Tekken, and all
but
that.
they're not going to take over. They're not going to go away from their core business, which is comics.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they'll take over that crowd. That's what I'm. That crowd.
I mean, they're not going to take over that crowd because Comic-Con's expensive.
No, what I'm like the E3. What you said they don't have that anymore. So where would they go?
The E3, like, are you saying like we could see a Microsoft booth there or a Sony booth?
We're never going to see that at Comic-Con because Comic-Con's core business is not that. Like you're not.
What'd you say you saw games? What did you say you saw there? Games?
So Hasbro was there. Hasbro was there, but it wasn't their main thing. Hasbro was selling the T-Rex that could voice activate and transform. Like that was their thing that they were talking about, and then all their toys and whatnot. And they're just like, look, Transformers game. And then Diablo was there. All they had was a big statue, and that was it.
Okay.
And they were like, go play our new game. And maybe
just
like one or two indie developers.
They'll find somewhere to go.
I mean, the thing is, E3 has been losing its luster for years because of it's expensive, as well as with the internet. It's not necessary. So we started to see the fall of E3 when Sony pulled out of E3, right? Mm-hmm. Sony was the first company to say we're not paying for an E3 booth. So I think I went 1 year when Sony was there, and then I went to the last two E3s before it stopped.
Lucky you didn't take me.
You weren't part of the company yet, so it was. The funny thing is, Microsoft invited us to E3, so it was very big for us to go. So like they invited us to both E3s, and then the last E3, I think I got the badges. Of they the ones that put us on to E3, and they invited us to the Xbox convention. So Xbox's show was actually like at a school or something. It was like in a high school type situation. It wasn't, but Microsoft had a booth at E3. So I think the booth game is over, and it's just unnecessary marketing expense because of gamers don't read the media. They read everything on the internet. So I think a combination of how the internet works and E3 just lost its
touch.
It just lost its touch. Overall, who is Jay Mims? Overall, gaming today seems as a diverse, evolving medium with both positive and negative aspects. What can you advise that are new to gaming? What can you advise? Is it advice for new gaming? Am I reading that wrong?
I don't know, dude. I can't spell.
I mean, sometimes you got to re-encode it. Overall, gaming today is.
What can you give advice to those that are new to gaming? Perhaps. I mean, just
new to gaming.
Go find a game that you like.
What can you advise that are new to gaming? So, are you talking about Jay Mims? If you can clarify your question, are you talking about for the game developers or just gaming as a whole, like for the hobby side of it? What can you advise to those that are new to gaming? Oh, okay. My bad for your question. I just want to make sure I had clarified. What can I advise for people that are new to gaming? Boy, you done picked the hard question. Hey, I appreciate it.
That's above our pay grade. Sorry.
Hey,
next question.
No. Pops, what can you advise for people that are new to gaming?
The thing about that, our podcast.
So what can you advise to new to gaming? So
yeah.
Because if I answer it first, I'm gonna get technical.
Right.
So I want your question. I want your answer.
We're three different generations from three different type of backgrounds, kinda, and we do different type of things. So we're gonna give you probably three different type of answers. So that's a good question. There is so oversaturated right now. So you should be able to find a game that you like. You don't have to settle for playing a game that other people like. You can find games that you really, really like yourself, Jay Mills. I mean, even if you have to go back a couple generations, if you have the money to look into the newer, generations of gaming, you can do that. Or you can always go back and, do some classics. I'm a big classic person or a classic upgraded person. So enjoy it. That's my biggest thing is, find something that you enjoy in gaming, like Scorch had alluded to earlier, like find something you like, and just play it. The gaming is one of those things that, is so diverse that you should be able to find your space in it without any rules. So to even say those that are new to gaming, that's such a wide range question that it's like saying, finding a new restaurant or new food or whatever, something like that. You just go find it, and enjoy it.
I mean, and to ping off Pops' thing, like gaming is, like you said, Jay Mills, it's a diverse medium, right? So, I mean, from mobile gaming, from console gaming, from PC gaming, like the best advice that I would tell you, because I'm a cost person. Don't spend all your money on one game. Explore and play new things. Don't get caught up in gaming as a service, and play what you want to play. Like, enjoy the products that you like. And if you don't know what kind of products you like, this is how I recommend. When you're an old gamer, the new gaming industry is social, right? They're all social. They have social stigmas and social rules. But when we were gamers, we were the game case is what conveyed me to play something, right? So if it was a puzzle game, I played it because it, like games like Loomies or March Columns. I played Tetris, so I'll play a puzzle game to just to see what it's about. I will play a platformer game to see what it's about. So for me, my advice to you is play a range of things. Don't say I don't like to play puzzle games. Don't say I only like to play FPSs. Play a range of different titles to find out what you like, because I didn't like Tetris growing up, right? But I did like Columns. Me and my mom played Columns on Genesis. When I had got a hold of a game called Six Pack. And Six Pack at this time has 6 games on it. So I played all 6 of those games, but I enjoyed Columns as a kid. And then I enjoyed later in my life with Puzzle Fighter. Me and Pops played Puzzle Fighter. And he always whooped me because you want to see that guy get aggressive? He played Puzzle Fighter. But I would say open your mind up and just be open to everything, but save your money and don't be getting caught up in paying to win. That's the best advice I give you. Scorch, guys, answer Jay Mills' question.
If you're new to gaming, here's the thing: find a game that you are interested in, right? Like for me, it's a story, right? If I want to be transported to another universe, right, or experience something I never had, right? Like I want to be the Master Chief, right? Like that's cool. That's better than life, right? To a degree. But if you find a game where it's like, all right, this interests me, where can I play it and how much is it going to cost, right? I'm a little bit on the side like, can I play this game on an Xbox that's $500, or do I need to drop money for a high-end PC to play it, right? But yeah, for advice to those new to gaming, just find a game you like. I say start with something that tells a story, right? And then dive into the different genres. Because I think the best way to get hooked on something is through story. Right? Because like if you're playing a game for other reasons, it's because you already know what you're going to get out of that, right? Whereas if you don't know what you're going to get, well, entertain me, show me, right? And I think that's the best way to look at it, in my opinion. That's how I got into gaming. I played a game. The story hooked me. I was like, all right, where's the next one? I'm done with this one. Where's the next one, right? And then I was like, all right, there isn't a next one. What other game is there with a better story? And then I got into new genres and new platforms. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, as well as gaming is a weird introductory period because it depends on the age when you were introduced to a game.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for me, I couldn't enjoy a story until Final Fantasy VII, mainly because I was able to read at that time of my life.
How old were you then when you played Final Fantasy VII?
Final Fantasy VII, I got it from my cousin. He had it in. My cousin had it in his game of. He had my dad's cousin. This is my second cousin. He had a pile of games that he gave us, and he had this Final Fantasy VII. So I want to know when it came out. So, man, they didn't. That's why I hate Wikipedia. Like, if I didn't ask for a remake, I asked for the original game. So Final Fantasy VII came out in 1997. So I played Final Fantasy VII in 1999. So 98, 99 is when I touched Final Fantasy VII. It came out January 31st. So I played it in 99. I know I played it in 99 because I know where I was at. So I played Final Fantasy VII in 1999, and that was my first story intensive game. Like, we did have Zelda, Ocarina of Time, but Ocarina of Time didn't have really much of it was one of the reading games that we played, but prior to that, I didn't play games that require reading. I think like Sonic Adventure was 1999. Crash Bandicoot. I played games like that didn't require you to read full-fledged sentences and to really understand what's going on.
If you're new to gaming, don't get a Final Fantasy game that requires a lot of reading or anything like that. Unless you see it and go, yeah, I could do that. You know?
Yeah, I mean, the current games don't even. A lot of the games don't even have reading in them anymore. Like, I think
that's
why
just subtitles, if anything.
Yeah, I think Sea of Stars. Does Sea of Stars have subtitles? I think that genre is coming back though, like the reading in video games, because it gives the reader the imagination of the game on the scenario.
And they save money on voice actors.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I haven't played Sea of Stars, but I know Sea of Stars looks like it's one of those games where you got to read the title screens.
Your question, Jamie, is it Jay Mills? Jamie's.
Did we answer it? Are you satisfied with our answers, or should we do better?
Your question actually answered.
Did we answer your questions, Jay Mills?
It's diverse and evolving medium, so that means it's always going to be something different, no matter what. You should be able to find something you like. I can't see in the world like now. I mean, like everybody that I know, I've seen there 60, 70-year-old people out there playing games, and they're 1 and 2 year olds playing games, and everybody in between finding something that they're like. It's so diverse, and as you say, evolving medium, you will find something you like. Don't settle at all. Like, don't play games just because people say it's the game to play. Find a game. Like, you could start off by watching YouTube videos. Like, first of all, Google or however you search online a type of genre that you like in gaming, and then go look at some YouTube videos about it, and it's literally almost that
I can
simple.
answer this next question.
Yeah. He said, certainly, thank you.
He said something.
Have you ever felt, hold on, let's read this question. Have you ever felt like you were becoming addicted to gaming? And if so, how did you manage to overcome it?
I'm addicted still.
I can definitely answer that question.
Same. No.
I was, I'm going to say in 2001, I was addicted to a game called Phantasy Star Online on the Sega Dreamcast. Literally, I was so addicted to this game where I was getting suspended for school just to go home to play Phantasy Star.
Hashtag worth it. No,
it was definitely worth it. Like, bruh, like gaming addiction is a real thing. So Phantasy Star Online was getting in the way of my life. At this time, I was getting disciplined by my mom because I was taking up. First off, I was taking up the phone line. Nobody can make phone calls. I was lying to my mom. Star 82. Hey, I don't know what you talk about, Mom. The phone didn't ring. She didn't even know about Star 82, that it blocks when people call. Hey, I ain't getting no phone calls. So, like, my gaming addiction was like, woo. But how I overcome the gaming addiction. it's interesting about gaming addictions because it depends on the game, right? So, Final Fantasy Star Online for me, I think I outgrew the game because of the player base changed. Um, the updates made me grow out of that game, right? So I played also Final Fantasy 11. Final Fantasy 11 is an MMO, so I played a lot of multiplayer, massive MMOs, massive online. I forgot.
Online multiplayer games.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
MMOs are designed to be addictive, like World of Warcraft. Like during those times, those games are very addictive because of the social behavior. And me, I grew up not being sociable, accepted among the peers of my neighborhood. So online gaming was definitely an addictive time of my life. Uh, I played Halo 2 as well, which was very addictive as well. But for me to overcome it, I think the game itself either lost its luster to me or the players that I played with played it. So I don't think I was ever really addicted to a game per se. I was addicted to the social dynamics of a game that it had to offer and the people that were a part of the game. So addiction could come from different eras, but to overcome it, I think is more of attempting to look at it. If the game is becoming a problem in relationships and things, I think you setting a boundary between that product and leaving it alone. Like you can start to play it. You have to wing yourself off that product because it can lead to things, especially games like, I know World of Warcraft when it came out, it definitely people got divorced in that thing. But your addiction, if your game is addictive to a point where it's affecting your personal life, like you have to either
that's the sign.
Definitely the sign. If the gaming is affecting your personal life and your personal relationships with people, I think it's best to look at, if you can acknowledge that you have an addiction, it's best for you to try to self-help. And if you can't self-help by limiting your exposure to that product, setting a schedule, if you're losing your job and you're not playing, you're not having the discipline to step away from that game, like, I think it's time for you to go seek other counsel if it's becoming that bad. But for me, if it's an addiction that you can control, start winging yourself off that product. Start playing less of it. Start putting restrictions on yourself. But if you're not disciplined and it's causing conflict in your personal relationships, I think it's probably to seek help, some kind of counseling, because the game itself is not the addiction. It's the person that's dealing with something. You're coping with the product to hide from something bigger than the game. And that's just my opinion. I'm not a counselor, so don't take my my advice as counsel advice, but that's just my opinion. So, Pops, what you think?
I don't. I never had it, and I've always had something that was more important that I can walk away from gaming to do. You know, I've been always into people. So, you know, people sometimes like become a part of playing the game. That's an addiction, if you want to call it that. But I've never been truly like addicted to where it got in the way. Like he said, only some professional help, because if it's an addiction to the game, then it may be like trying to get away from life or get away from real, responsibilities of what you have. I don't know anybody personally that's lost anything major over video games, like that you could go so far as to call it an addiction. I know people who play the game hours a day, and it's like, it's still not an addiction. It's just what they do with their free time. So that's the first thing to do, is to define if it's really an addiction. Because just because you play the game, you can play the game every day for hours, and I don't think it'll be a truly addiction. I think, like what McPerk said, was if you're losing your job over, that's one thing. Being a kid and not going to school, or when they get sent home just to play the game, that's a little different. I can't call that an addiction. Either that's just a kid with no discipline, probably, or something like that.
Or impulsiveness.
Yeah, something like that. But like their addiction is a strong word when it comes down to something that's not harmful on a regular basis, like gaming. If we get into other things like substance abuse, that's a little different. But we're talking about
hold on, let me add it to you. Let me rebuttal. So, and as well as if somebody's behavior, if we talking about children, so like your question is like one of these
can't wait to
questions.
answer this.
So, like if it's children, parenting is very important. Like parents don't control their children's gaming habits, right? So the reason why we have an NSRB is because we need to control things. And now if it's a child and they're raging and acting crazy, like stuff like that, that's parenting.
Get them off.
Get them off. Obviously, this person is not mature enough to handle the products that are being presented with them, like addiction. And I see stories like that. So, that's a different thing. But if you see signs with children acting rage quitting, throwing temper tantrums for a game, you got to limit them, and you either cold turkey that or you limit the amount of playtime, as well as like just for my opinion, I'm gonna give it back to Pops. Parents need to be more responsible with the content that their children watch overall on gaming, internet. You know how there's so many people with unfiltered internet children. It's crazy because the parents don't have the technical parenting on how to update it. So that's just, I wanted to add a little bit into Pops's subject. But there you go, Pops.
Go back. Scorch can take over right now because it's, you said it all. It's different levels. Like I say, to call something addiction is kind of like, that's wide range, and it's like, what is a person doing? If it's like playing a game every day is not addiction. Playing a game for hours a day is not addiction. It's when you can't. Addiction is, in my definition, especially when it comes down to substance abuse, it's like what McPerk said. If it gets in the way of like life and stuff like that, and that doesn't mean like, oh, I want to stay home and play the game instead of going out to, the club or something like that. That's not an addiction either. Like it's cool. Like that stuff like that is cool. It's if you're losing your job on it, that's when you need some counseling or something like that. I don't like. There's a thin line between enjoying a game for hours a day and what could be called addiction. So just, with that word, I'm let Scorch, put his.
So I don't know if I can say I have a gaming addiction or addicted to gaming, but I do find myself sitting here rather play video games than apply for a job. And I think that goes for everyone, right?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like you have to figure out what your definition of an addiction is, right? Like I can come back from work and just sit here and play video games until I have to go to bed, right? I don't know if that's addicting or not, an addiction, but that's what I like to do, right? Because I enjoy it. I'd rather do that than, like Pop said, go to the club, right? But if it's like, hey, let's go eat at a restaurant, you don't have to pay. It's like, okay, maybe I'm down for that, right?
Right.
There's a good YouTube channel called Healthy Gamer GG, and he's I don't know if it's a counselor or something like that, and he talks about like the effects of gaming, addiction, and all that. Maybe I can put it in the chat for McPerk to link it.
What is it called? Healthy Gaming?
I just put the link in the chat here. But basically, it's a YouTube channel, and there's a guy on here, and he talks to like the effects of gaming and other things in life. It's a good channel to look at for more information on that. I watch them sometimes. But to overcome addiction, it's like everyone has already said, just separate yourself a little. I know I've had to step away from gaming and be like, nope, not gonna touch it till 8 o'clock tonight. And that's kind of what I've been doing, right? Like I wake up and it's like, I'm not touching the computer. I'm gonna go relax until like at least 5 o'clock my time, go work out, go do what I gotta do, right? But every time I sit down on this chair and I'm like, oh, I gotta do my homework, I end up doing this. I'm like, the controller's right there. 5 minutes won't kill me. And it's like, nah.
You just remind me, sorry to add in, but I want to add in because at that point, like, separate yourself from the game, and that's a good way of doing it. Like, don't game in your bedroom, or like have somebody you know that'll help you be responsible. Don't let you use the game until a certain time. You know, it's two ways to do it, because like McPerk said, you have to kind of be strong in yourself and like actually you know, be able to separate yourself. You know, like some people, I was just talking about this to a friend of mine the other day. If you know, sometimes people have bad drug habits and stuff like that. In the beginning, they have to separate themselves. If they're going cold turkey, they can't be around it. But to me, if you can't be around it without doing it, then that's where the real problem is. Like Squirt says, he make sure he does what he needs to do first. And just because you play the game, you can still play the game for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And still do what you got to do first. Yeah, do what you got to do first.
And that's one of those things, like, to wrap this question up, like parenting.
Sorry, finish.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you go do that, right? But like, something you shouldn't do is like put your bed right next to your computer, right? Like, it's not good. You go to bed, but it's like you're sitting here. It's like, oh, just 5 more minutes. My bed's right there, right? Like, separate that, right?
Right.
Like, if you're playing video games right next to your bed, go play in the living room. Bring the monitor.
It's the same thing with sleeping with the cell phone. Like,
exactly.
People are addicted to the phone. I don't sleep with technology in my room. But I forgot the question the response I was going to say. But okay, parenting. Like, for instance, parents be like, "You're addicted to the game," because the person spent 8 hours doing that. That's not addiction. First off, let's not like, and I don't know where your angle for this question is, but if a game is programmed to have a complete time of 40 hours to just beat, and somebody's putting this time to get to the end of that story, so let's look at it like this:
grind.
if a book take you 20 hours to read completely, we don't say people are addicted to books as a bad thing. If a book take you 20 hours to read,
good thought.
And they read this book, we don't call people who read every single Harry Potter book addicted to Harry Potter when they read the physical book, because of
we call them nerds. No,
I mean, I'm not.
Now that's interesting. That's an interesting thought, McPerk.
It's just like, but if we look at that activity as they're just reading a book, it doesn't matter how long that they read it. But when we put it on our media or on our game, we have a whole nother label to it. Mm-hmm. So if somebody spends their time playing a game, it does not equal addiction. Because if that person spends that same 40 hours reading that one book about whatever subject, it's not an addiction. It's time applied to the activity. So that's just my opinion. And I wanted to end it on that note.
Good, especially with the parenting, because like my nephew, he loves gaming, dude. Every time he comes over, he's on that iPad and Nintendo Switch, man. From my POV, he looks addicted because he's like, I want to go on my Switch in the bed, right? Like all day, every day type of thing. And
with children, that's very scary because they don't have a sense of time. They don't have a
especially at the young age.
Yeah, so when it's coming to children and their impulsiveness to game, I don't look at it as addiction. I look at it as bad parenting, because children wants to spend time on anything that is fun to them and that's going to take them and occupy their attention, right? And so you got to understand too, companies are marketing to get attention from everybody on this planet right now.
Exactly.
So granted, like I love that you asked this question, Jay Mills, because it literally gave us a whole new scope of thinking about gaming. Like I never even had this conversation before. So I appreciate you being here. Like it's really cool. But I mean, I'm talking about live. Nobody's really talking about this.
Yeah, different generations are seeing different things, and that's like perfect. Like
let me bring my mom into this. She'll get on this. This guy doesn't do shit.
Right.
So I mean, thanks for the question, man. I appreciate it. I hope you hear to hear the whole thing, but it definitely very powerful subject. And YouTube, Healthy Gamer GG.
It's very good.
Very good YouTuber according to Scorch. I haven't watched them, but I'm going to look at them, find out your gaming healthy tips, and be a healthy gamer. And that includes exercise.
After we finish the podcast, though. After we finish the podcast.
After we finish the podcast. There now. Oh, man. Dude, man, that was crazy. That was crazy.
No, I mean, like the full disclosure to everybody out there, it wasn't a lot of gaming news today, so this was one of our more freestyle type podcasts, and it like we're already 2 hours and 15 minutes in, and it's crazy because this is our longest so far. You know, is very interesting that you guys out there listening and asking questions can help us, and we hope for more of that. We really appreciate everybody got a bunch of people watching on like multi different platforms, and it's beautiful to see all these different people out there listening. We love to hear from all of y'all. So if we know that on X or Twitter or whatever it's called now, that you can't get your question in, just hop over to YouTube or Twitch and get a question in if you on Twitter or
and if you got any more questions, like feed us, because we're here for you. This is the Inner Circle Live. We invite anybody that wants to participate into the circle. So there's 30 people currently on the Twitch. I mean on the X, but of course they're not verified only. Yeah, like come over to the YouTube side of things and subscribe. Like we trying to bring everybody together, gaming as a whole.
And if you're watching the rebroadcast, throw some questions down there and we'll answer them on the next one too. So
for real.
Keep that in mind. Like we're here for everybody, and like I like that this podcast today went different. I mean it was very, very diverse to take Jamie's comment about the gaming, and this podcast has become very diverse today, and I appreciate that. So
and, shameless plug, TiCGamesNetwork.com. Visit our website. We are currently looking for bloggers and web developers to help redefine the Inner Circle Games Network. So if you're interested in working on a project, hit up me, MC Perk. Not you. You stay in that box. We'll talk about this. Is not about you. It's about the Inner Circle. It's about the people.
It's the people, Sports.
For real. But other than that, man.
Yeah.
Woo, that subject had my mind going.
Yeah, nice. I like that. All right, time to play video games now. All right. Wanna do as we do towards the end. I don't have much. I guess we usually do a segment called PMS Rants. I'm sorry.
Ranch.
Ranch. I'm ready to eat. Am I ready to eat?
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. Pops McPerk Scorch Rant. Anybody got anything to rant about right now? We kind of ranted a little bit.
I want a job. I still don't have a job.
PMS. Ew. Prince McPerk Scorch. PMS. Ew.
You said Prince.
Oh, your shirt say Prince on it. Ew. Ew.
He made it come up again.
What do I have to PMS about today, man? I don't think I'm on my cycle right now.
Wow. Wow. He always trying to
Hey, Kick pops out.
I got people hating on me already. That's bad.
Hold on. Ew.
You gotta move back to the ew.
man.
Is it eel or imp?
Ew.
I think he's born on don't Cardi B do that? Imp, something like that. Cardi B
P don't play no video games. I ain't never seen Cardi B playing nothing.
All I know about her is she's born on the same day as Trey because he always talks about it. So
he talk about Cancel McPerk. Oh man, shoot, man. Today I don't got nothing to be angry about. I mean, I haven't really.
You know what? Like let's go deeper into what we were talking about this gaming thing, and as a parent, pay more attention to your kids. It doesn't take a whole lot to build a relationship with the kids. Kids didn't ask to be here. My rant, going off of what McPerk said about parenting is like, parent your kids. Although my kids are talking about kicking me out the show, but I mean it's they're still cool. But
no.
yeah. Right.
Hold on. I got some jabs now. Since the audience want to be mean, hey, profitable Prince, you need to take care of your Smash Brothers, bro. I see you commented earlier, and your Smash Brothers was beep 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 up when you was a little kid. We couldn't even play the game because your Smash Brothers was scratched up. That's my rant. How about that? Yeah, I got a rant for you now. Throwing these disrespectful things. Yeah, keep your games clean, children. Don't be like, look, profitable Prince is now profitable. But at one point in time, that boy's games was scratched up. I'm grown. Okay.
He said he's grown. Like
I'm a big boy now.
Hey, I had to find something, Pops. He did it. We bring it up to past now. Right. I'm grown. Hey. Hey, I found my little. I'm done.
All right.
Man.
Scorcher's rant is more jobs for game developers.
Yeah, give me a job. Someone give me a job. I make videos and video games.
I mean, no industry is definitely going through a transition. So, hey, you might have to start some independent to get notoriety.
I don't want to.
You have.
You might. At this point, that's what's happened with every industry, Scorch. I mean, it's independent. I mean, the big boys, you gotta kick in their doors pretty much by being your own strong independent. It's done happen in the gaming industry has happened, the movie industry, the music industry, every industry has been that way. The current book industry, all this stuff. Like you have to do it. So
I mean, and the thing is though too, like one of the things more jobs, more parenting, less scratch games. Hey, but the thing is, like, when it comes to that creative field, like, one of the benefits you got going on, like, you don't have to have a lot of resources to make a hot product, particularly in that field, because we see in games like Sea of Stars and all these different games doing well. So, you don't have to create this elaborate AAA game to make a name for yourself.
Look
like
at Angry Birds. They made whole movies. It's just that. I think I want to say Angry Birds have to be the biggest stretch I've seen as far as growth from an indie game, because they started off on mobile gaming.
Didn't they have
they had two movies. Matter of fact, it's Angry Birds 2. I believe. If I'm not mistaken, I know they had one for sure, but I think it was 2. I mean, that from a phone game to movie, man, like, come on, man, like you should not worry about like fitting in or like needing somebody else at this point.
I mean, because you're in the creative field, so like, just look at it from that standpoint. Create something small and go from there, because you eventually be able to build something. And you got to think, these people will throw a check at you once they see something. You got to show your work in the creative field. So, like wanting
I got
employment.
3 words for you. Go ahead, Score. Shot, you finish. Go finish. I mean, McPerk, you finish.
Begging for employment in the gaming industry. You got to think there is a lot of people like you right now, but the difference between them and you, these people are green lighting projects on Steam. They building up CV. They building up their portfolio. So even if you don't feel like building something from scratch, find somebody else to build with. Like there's a community for you available that needs your help to build something, because those people are going to be the movers, shakers, and movers of the future, in my opinion. So that's the advice that I could give you, dog.
3 words. Cat sitter simulator.
Hey, we about to trademark that today. Anybody want to help Scorch develop
just look
Cat
at
Simulator?
The game store, and they got just the store on Xbox, and that's what they call it, marketplace?
Yeah.
And hotel renovator, huh?
That's the newest one. I mean, they got PC simulator, which actually teaches you how to build a PC, which I thought was crazy.
Interesting.
I should have done that before I built mine.
But Goat Simulator, bro.
I mean, like,
it's just a meme.
I mean, but you just this stuff with these games like that, like
bro,
hotel simulator.
We could create the cat simulator on mobile. Get all the cat lovers on the internet. Pump mobile ads in the game, and we're rich.
Yeah.
It don't matter what the cats just gotta be.
First we gotta do console release, then mobile.
No. The cat lovers live on mobile. Bring Rumbleverse back. Epic don't care about.
Hey, I can build it. I can build the Rumbleverse, except no multiplayer.
Hey, Rumbleverse, I missed that game, man. But
yeah,
man. Yep. Hey, we gonna have to talk. We gotta create a game doc for Cat Simulator, dog. You went to Full Sail, so you know how to create Cat Simulator. Get the engine up.
Profitable Prince is a cat sitter as well.
Look, Profitable Prince about to invest in our idea.
Right. $2,000 right now.
Yeah,
ain't no damn $2,000. That's $1 million and some change.
That Prince, like, I see the big, like, Scorch think it's a joke. With McPerk, no numbers. I like, me too, Prince. I mean, like, a profitable Prince.
Look.
He said, I know money when I see it. Like, I think that's great. Like, I think we'll talk about that. I mean, we got a whole, like, investment team right now in the audience right now, you know, and watching right now. So it's, interesting.
That was my PMS.
That's the PMS for real. So, man, shoot, it's been 2 hours and 27 seconds. Any final words?
Follow us on our social medias.
Yes, please.
I'm McPerk everywhere on McPerk, MCPERK, and follow TiC Games Network. What about you, Pops?
You can find me at Prince Pops Play, and then find my personals there. Pops of Prince Pops Play, father son stream team. We stream Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays, and at about 9 p.m. Eastern time. I mean, Central Standard Time.
Dark Scorch.
Dark Scorch 2 everywhere. YouTube's Dark Scorch 2 Films. Not changing it. Nice. You can find me streaming at random moments at random times during the day. Yeah.
So we appreciate y'all watching the show, and this was the Inner Circle live show for the fans, by the fans, and we appreciate all your questions and answers. And we'll see you back in let's say we're going to see you back on the 17th.
6 years.
Deuces.